In this tutorial, I'll be talking about global library items. Now, what a global library item is a section, row, or module that looks exactly the same on every single page you add it to. And if you update it in one place, it gets updated on all the pages where it's being used. For example, if you have a page, a website, and on the bottom of every single website you have a footer area and there's a call to action module there that's you've placed it on every single page because you want your visitors to convert no matter what page they're on, so you're inviting them to sign up for your service at the bottom of every single page. And so you've added this module 20 times on all 20 of your pages, and then one day you decide to update the color. Well, then you have to go through every single page and update the color for every single instance of that module. Well, that's the perfect opportunity to turn it into a global module. And what that would do is it would be mirrored, the same module would be mirrored on every single page. And if you updated it on any of those pages, it gets the updates get pushed to all instances of that global module. So it saves you a lot of time. And you can use it you can use it for more reasons than just individual modules. You could create a whole footer area, with widgets, with a sidebar widget or whatever, and have that mirrored on every single page to create your own kind of customizable footer. And so in this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about global modules. And global modules are library items. So if you want to learn more about the DIVI library in general, be sure to check out the tutorial on that back on the documentation page. But for this tutorial, I'm going to focus purely on the global aspect of saving library items. Okay, so in my previous example, I talked about creating a global call to action module, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I have a page here, and I have a call to action at the bottom, and I'd like to add that to every single page on my website. And so because I know I'm going to be using it everywhere, and I want it to look the same everywhere, well, I might as well make that a global library item. So just to be clear, what I'm talking about is this call to action here at the bottom. It says, look no further, get started today, join now. And I'm going to turn that into a library item and then make it global. So to do that, I'm going to turn this whole section into a global section. I'm going to go to the section settings. I'm going to click save and add to library to add to the library. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it global CTA. And then I'm going to make sure to make this a global option. And I'm going to save, and now you're going to notice that it's going to change colors. It's going to turn green, and that's our way of telling you that that is a global item. It's important to know when you're editing a global item because the repercussions are a little bit greater if you have it mirrored on your whole site. For instance, you make a change on any of those pages, all those changes are going to get pushed to every single page that uses that module. And so we turn it green, and we also turn the modal setting box green as well. So you always know whether or not you're editing a global item. Okay, so I've turned this into a global module, and it's also been added to my library. And so if I create a new page and add that section to the bottom, it's going to mirror what I created here. So let's do that. I'm going to go over to add new and create a new page. I'm just going to call it test page 2. I'm going to use the builder, and I'm going to load up a pre-made layout really quickly here. And then at the bottom of the page, I'm going to add that call to action. So I'm going to click the add from library link here to add my section. And then I'm going to look for my global CTA section, and you can tell that it's green. That means that it's global. So you can look, if you're trying to add a global section, you're going to want to look for the green color here. I named it global CTA, so there it is. I'm going to click that and add it. And you can see it adds that section that I just saved. And so I'm going to update or publish this page. And now I have two pages. I have this one over here, my original page with the global section at the bottom, and I have my new page here with the global section at the bottom as well. Now, if we were to take a look at both these pages in the front end, you'll see that both of them have the call to action at the bottom, and the call to action looks the same on both pages because this global module is being shared. So here's the new page that I created, and at the bottom we have our call to action here. And if we swing over to our other page, the original page, we have our call to action there at the bottom too, and they both look the same. Now, just to show you how this works, if I were to edit one of those, whether I'm editing it on either page or even if I'm editing it within the Divi library itself, those changes are going to get pushed to both of those pages. So as an example, let's try changing the text. So right now it says look no further, sign up today. Let's say on this day we have a deal going, and so I want to sweeten the deal a little bit and say look no further, sign up today for 20% off. And normally this would be quite annoying to have to go to every page just to showcase we're having this deal. And so instead I'm just going to do it once, and it's going to get pushed to both pages. So if I refresh this page, you see that it's been updated, and if we go back to the page we didn't even edit, you'll see that it's been updated as well. Same thing goes for the rest of the settings as well. If we want to change the color, let's say you're rebranding your site and you said, you know what, the orange, that's not our company color anymore. I'm thinking that purple is going to be our company color now. So I can change this section setting, the background color, to purple and update. And then if we go back to both of our pages where this module exists, you can see that it turns to purple on both pages. Yes, that's the basic idea of global modules. And yeah, they can be used for any library type. So you can create a global module, a global row, or a global section. And there are also some creative ways that you can combine global modules with selective sync. Now, we have a tutorial about selective sync in the Divi library, so be sure to go check that out. And I go into more detail about how to use selective sync and global modules together. But just at the basic idea, selective sync allows you to save only settings from certain tabs into the library. So you might save a global module that only syncs the advanced design settings and custom CSS, but leaves the general settings unique to that instance of the global module. For example, I could create a slider on the top of my page and use the advanced design settings and custom CSS to create a unique style, and then save that as a global module, but selectively unsync the general settings tab. Now I can have sliders at the top of all my pages across my site that share this unique style that is synced in the global module under advanced settings, but each instance of the slider can have their general settings to themselves. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, and that's a basic overview of using global library items in Divi.